Hi, this is a picture that I have in my office that I think a lot of people have seen in the background of some of my Weight Watcher videos. And I really, really, really liked this picture because it I wish that I was that person sitting on the edge of the cliff. Just, it looks like there's so much solitude and peace. And even though I'm definitely afraid of heights, I think that this place just looks so, alone, and you're just alone with God and nature here, and it just makes me feel very centered when I look at it. So this is one of my favorites. All right, this one is hanging in my office and in the corner, and I've always cherished this one. This one comes from my mom, and she had it hanging in her house for many, many years. And one day I said, Mom, I really love this picture. It's so pretty. And the way that my mom is that if you like something, she'll just give it to you. Of course, I tried to refuse because I didn't want to take her picture off her wall, but she said, no, 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 you need to have it. And so ever since then, I've just treasured it and hung it up ever since. It just reminds me of her so much because her favorite color flower was this color. And it just really reminds me of her. This is another something that I have in my office. This is a clock that our eldest son, Calvin, made for me. And I think it might have been for my birthday or something. It's like a wood block, and it works. It just needs a new battery. But he painted it and put these cute little characters on. And I just love it to pieces. It's so sweet. This is another one that hangs in my office. I just like to read this every morning when I start out the day. I have this IKEA picture here hanging in my guest room, and the reason why is because when people come over, there's some casitas back there. I just want them to forget everything and just relax, and I come up here sometimes just to do that and read a book or something. In guest bath, there are these two originally signed photographs from a photographer who was visiting France, and I look at these streets. It's somewhere I've always really wanted to go, and I can just see the rain, having just left, and it's quiet. The day's about to begin, and I'm going to have a latte and a croissant. This picture I bought because it reminds me of when we were overseas. My husband and I were just married, and he was in the military, and all of the eggs on base tasted so yucky. They were so old. And so we finally decided to go off base, go on to the economy, as we called it, find a little grocery store that looked just like this with wilted, brand new organic vegetables everywhere and eggs, real eggs that weren't old. And they tasted so wonderful, and it looked just like this place. I love this picture because I love bridges. It reminds me of Yosemite in the fall. This beautiful painting was given to me and painted by one of my very, very closest friends. And it just means so much to me. I had it framed and put in a place of honor. It just, to me, when I see it, it means hope. And that's just the kind of person that she is. She always brings light into a dark world. And when I look at this, I always see hope. I see light at the end of the tunnel. This was a picture taken by our eldest son. We went to a place called Scotty's Castle, not far from here, and we went into an antique kitchen that was there, and he took some really serene pictures. This was one of them. This was another one, and I think this is very poetic. It looks like an old Danish painting or something, but it was a quiet piano with something laid over it and just a quiet window in the background. This is the most important picture in my home, and it means so much. It says, I am the resurrection and the life, and he that believeth in me shall live, and whoever liveth shall not die. Those are the words of Jesus, my Savior and my Lord, and it is put in the place of highest honor in our home. It's right above the mantle, and it reminds us daily of the hope that we have in eternity because of him. This is a picture that I have in the schoolroom. The kids really love it because it has primary colors. I read somewhere that primary colors help your creativity. This is a sign that I have in our bedroom. Just reminds me of the love that we have for each other. This picture here I really enjoy in my bathroom. It's really lovely. And if you know what the second waltz is, I can just hear that music in the background while these dancers twirl and all of the, I don't know if it's gossip or what is going on in the faces of these people looking at each other. There's so many stories to tell, but the lights glow so brightly and the background just draws you into the room with them, and it just seems to me to be so visually musical. And if I hear that music in the background, I could just stare at it for hours. This, of course, is probably one of my favorites. It is a painting that my husband had made our first year of marriage for anniversary. He found an old man who was painting down in Madrid, and he paid him to repaint a photograph from our wedding. And so this is an oil painting, and I always think that we look the same, but when I look at this, I realize we were so young. This is also, you can't tell I love beach scenes, right? This is in our bedroom, and I just want it to be a place of respite and serenity, and so I hung these pictures up in it. And no home would be complete without the family pictures, right? Just places you've gone, the first tooth that was lost, and dress-ups for the first trick-or-treating and or whatever. First, a puppy coming home, maybe a job, an older child at a job, just having fun, maybe a day at the beach burying each other, and the first time, one of the first times you were reading books to your child, trips you've been on, just a date maybe that you went out on, all kinds of stuff. This is one of my faves. This is a little billboard here I have in my home office. This is the year of patience. I pick a different word every year. I always have this little love sign here hanging somewhere. Anyway, I wanted to say thanks a lot for coming on my little home tour of a few of my favorite picks here, and I hope you guys have a wonderful and beautiful, blessed day. Take care.